Okay, so today we're back at again with the useless facts. So today we'll be reading 20 solid minutes of useless facts. So yeah, it's gonna be back at again with the useless facts. And that is 15 minutes. So yeah, we're gonna be back at again with the useless facts. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so here's the useless facts. Starting now. An emperor penguin has 100 feathers per square inch of its body. The Asian weaver ant can hold objects 100 times its body weight while hanging upside down. You can buy bacon and maple syrup flavored lollipop. A study found that hot chocolate tastes sweeter when you drink it from an orange cup from a white cup. Kool-Aid can be used to clean dishwashers. The ears of a long-eared jerboa, a nocturnal rodent, are 2/3 of the size of its body. There's a fungus that secretes red drops that look like blood. Your iris, the colored part of your eye, is more unique than your fingerprint. Before the dwarf planet Makemake was officially named, scientists called it Easter Bunny. Pandas eat as much as 36 pounds of bamboo every day. That's as heavy as 144 quarter-pound hamburgers. The world's largest wind turbine has blades the size of a commercial jet. Some ancient Romans rubbed crocodile dung on their faces to soften their skin. Hepzibah, the first female pharaoh of Egypt, wore red and black nail polish. A group of flamingos is called a flamboyance. For 213 years, it was illegal for women to wear pants in Paris. Luckily, the law was never really enforced. You'll never see a full moon and the sun in the sky at the same time. The juice of one type of chili pepper can burn through a latex glove. Next is the world's smallest flying robot, called RoboBee, is slightly larger than a penny. 1.9 billion years ago, most of the earth smelled like rotten eggs. The Goliath spider's fangs are as long as a paper clip. The shiniest living thing on earth is an African fruit known as condensata. Male blue-footed boobies do a high step strut to attract mates. Also, boobies is the name of a bird. A planet partially made of diamond was calculated to be worth $26.9 million. That's 26.9 followed by 29 zeros. But for $100,000, you can buy a killer whale-shaped submarine. A man in New York City, New York, was fined for laughing too loud. If you rolled all of Earth's water into a ball, it would be less than 1/3 of the size of the moon. This doesn't make sense. A massive floating ice that looks like an iceberg is called the flowy berg. The Indian giant squirrel has purple fur. Some dogs are allergic to cats. The world's largest toilet paper pyramid was made up of 23,821 rolls. The hagfish is the only animal that has a skull but no spine. A pet rabbit in England weighs the same as 4 bowling balls. A woman once dislocated her jaw while eating a giant hamburger. A rare type of octopus has 6 arms. Sunlight reflected off a building in London and melted a nearby car. It can take 10 years for a saguaro cactus to grow an inch. A chunk of a rock about as long as 17,000 basketball courts was seen floating in the South Pacific. Ghost ants have see-through stomachs. A piece of cake from Queen Victoria's wedding has been preserved in England for 174 years. A company invented a remote control helicopter that's the size of a golf ball. Komodo dragons often vomit when threatened. Some plants glow bright blue under ultraviolet light. More than half of the world's geysers are in Yellowstone National Park in Wyoming. The night side of planet Earth is 600,000 times dimmer than the day side. The largest kangaroos can weigh as much as grown men. NASA is developing a 3D printer that it hopes it will print edible pizzas. A rare disorder causes people to sleep up to 20 hours a day. At a store in Japan, you can have a replica of your face molded into chocolate. The hummingbird snacks on top to 1,500 flowers a day. A sculptor carved a life-size astronaut from a 1-ton block of cheddar cheese. An astronaut wrote his daughter's initials on the dusty surface of the moon. Some frogs eat crabs. Fossils of Earth's earliest known animals look like microscopic baseballs and soccer balls. An architect built a bridge out of cardboard tubes. The pirate ant has black patches on his eyes, and that's why it's named that. The catfish. Some catfish leap out of the water to catch pigeons on the shore. Female fireflies rarely fly. People throw away enough ribbon each year to tie a bow around the earth. Americans eat over 1 billion chicken wings during Super Bowl weekend. About 1 out of 5 people have dropped their cell phone into the toilet. A Lego sculpture in Queen Elizabeth's II Lego set included a crown with real diamonds. Borborygmus is the word for a rumbling sound in your stomach when you're hungry. Louis XIV of France wore 4-inch high heels. The gray catbird makes a meow sound. 200 million Girl Scout cookies are sold every year. This is enough for each person in the U.S. to have half a box. Some green snakes turn blue when they die. A gorilla at the zoo in Germany can walk on a tightrope. Earthquakes can instantly create gold in Earth's crust. An avocado sometimes is known as an alligator pear. More people hide their valuables in their sock drawer than anywhere else. A six-clawed lobster was caught off the coast of Massachusetts. All strawberries can be yellow. There's a town in Canada called St. Louis du Ha-Ha. There's a wood frog's croak sounds like a quack. We're almost halfway done. Some grasshoppers are pink. Scientists found that you can literally get cold feet when you're nervous. In ancient Greece, comets were called hairy stars. Some house ants smell like fresh coconuts when smashed. A woman in Sweden found her wedding ring on a carrot after growing in her garden, 16 years after dropping it on the dirt. Sunflowers can grow as tall as 2 African elephants stacked up on top of each other. The movie Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs is called Reign of Falafel in Israel. A disorder called alien hand syndrome can cause a person to punch and slap himself. In the wild, goldfish can grow to be more than a foot long. Locusts are a popular snack in parts of Paris and in parts of Africa and Asia. Scandinavians in Norway traveled on handmade skis more than 6,000 years ago. There's a road in New Jersey called Shades of Death. Scientists think that water on the moon came from Earth. A cyclist invented a bike helmet made from recycled newspapers. African lions catch about 20% of the prey they chase. Dragonflies catch 95%. A 10-year-old kid is made up of 3.2 billion, no, not billion, octillion atoms. A wild bear in Tennessee tried to break into a zoo. Bears don't go to the bathroom for months while they're hibernating. There's one bear for every 2 people in the Yukon Territory of Canada. A grizzly bear can sniff out food from 18 miles away. White-faced capuchin monkeys greet each other by sticking their fingers up each other's nose. Electric taxis cruised the street of New York City more than 100 years ago. New Zealand has more cats per person than any country in the world. A Japanese artist makes shells for hermit crabs that look like city skylines. American flags left on the moon will eventually turn white when they get bleached by the sun. A designer created a glow-in-the-dark wedding dress. An ice cream truck in London serves scoops just for dogs. It doesn't rain in the eye of a hurricane. A turtle's shell alone is made up of about 50 bones. It's impossible to hum while holding your nose. Let's try that. Oh yeah, it's not possible. Anyways, back to the useless facts. Atlantic lobsters sometimes eat each other. A picture painted by a retired racehorse sold for more than $200,000 on eBay. A palm tree is not a tree. It's a type of grass. NASCAR drivers can travel the length of a football field in just over a second. Some early baseballs were made of fish eyes covered in leather. An elephant's skin is as thick as 12 stacked pennies. A study found that cheese may taste saltier if you eat it off a knife instead of a fork. Seagulls sometimes sit on pelicans' heads. The White House in Washington was originally named the President's Palace. A luxury hotel distributes 24-karat gold iPads to its guests in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. A cronut is a cross between a donut and a croissant. Amazon.com was originally named Cadabra. An emu's body contains up to 3 gallons of oil, which is just enough to fill 3 milk jugs. 1,360 Olympic-sized swimming pools could fit into the world's largest buildings, located the world's largest building in China. You lose about 1 million skin cells every 24 hours. The first ever webcam was used to wash a pot of coffee. A 4-year-old girl named Daisy found the bone of a new dinosaur species, later named Vectidiraco morrisei. Nosewise, sturdy, and hardy were popular names for dogs in the medieval times. Some moths' hearing is 15 times more sensitive than a human's. A drawing by Leonardo da Vinci, a famous 15th century artist and inventor, inspired the design of Batman's cape. Musicians recreated the Batman song, Batman theme song with real bat sounds. The original Batmobile from the 1960s Batman TV show sold for $4.2 million. There's an airport in Turkey named Batman. Some fish use their fins to walk across the ocean floor. The world's biggest passenger jet weighs as much as 100 hippos. You can tell the age of a dolphin by counting its layers within its teeth like rings. Dolphins can recognize an old friend's whistle even after they've been separated for 20 years. Rabbits can see behind them without even moving their heads. There's a monument dedicated to the boll weevil bug in Alabama. Aerophobia is an extreme fear of cats. Geckos communicate by barking, chirping, and squeaking. Shrimp swim backward. 3 out of 4 people admitted to sharing an ice cream cone with their pet. Flatworms can regrow their heads. More than 200 million emails are sent every minute. A prison in Brazil uses geese as an alarm system. They honk at anybody roaming the grounds. The mimic octopus can change shape to look like other animals. The ISS is the most expensive object ever constructed, costing over $130 billion to build. Hundreds of years ago, Russians built the roller coasters from. And that is 20 minutes. Yeah. So that was 20 minutes of useless facts. Some of these are interesting, but they're called useless facts because there's really no purpose to them. Most of them. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, bye.